This quick video tutorial will teach you how to use the Nested PM feature to simplify and organize your preventive maintenance schedules. A nested PM is a group of overlapping PMs of varying length and complexity for an asset that lands on different cycles. Instead of having multiple PMs for an asset that trigger on the same date, the PMs can be grouped together into one manageable nested PM. Let's get familiar with this by creating a nested PM for your car. The first preventive maintenance is to change the oil every 3,000 miles. The second is to change the oil filter, air filter, and spark plugs every 12,000 miles. And the third is to change the timing belt every 60,000 miles. If we look at these three preventive maintenances on a chart, we can see that the three preventive maintenance cycles start at the same point at different times. Instead of having three separate preventive maintenance actions, I can combine all three into one nested PM. Let's create a nested PM to manage this. Start by filling in the standard scheduled maintenance information on the general screen, such as asset, priority, etc. Next, in the Schedule tab, a nested PM requires a baseline trigger. This is the smallest preventive maintenance cycle that each individual preventive maintenance falls on. In this case, the smallest preventive maintenance cycle is every 3,000 miles. So I'll create a meter reading trigger every 3,000 miles. This vehicle is 4 years old and just received an oil change at 57,000 miles, so this is the start point. I then select OK. I can now configure the different PM cycles in the Nested PM tab. By default, the first one listed here is the initial cycle. I'll edit it and call it 3,000 miles PM for simplicity. I'll add another PM cycle by clicking the New button and call it 12,000 miles PM with a multiplier of 4 and the 3,000 miles PM as the parent. Calculating the multiplier is just simple math. This means that every fourth occurrence of the 3,000 miles PM will trigger a 12,000 mile PM. I'll do the same for 60,000 miles PM, this time with a multiplier of 20. Note the root code on the left. They correspond to your cycles. You'll need these when setting up tasks. Click on Change to select the start point for the PM in its cycle. As mentioned, this vehicle has 57,000 miles on the clock, so I need to select the second to last iteration in the cycle, the last being 60,000 miles. When this vehicle exceeds 60,000 miles, the cycle restarts from the beginning again. Next, I'll add the preventive maintenance tasks. I've already created 3 task groups for the 3 PM cycles. I'll click the double add icon at the bottom left to add a task group. I'll select 3,000 mile PM task group first. I'll assign the tasks to Bob and leave the nesting PM cycle as N1. Click OK. I'll repeat this for the 12,000 mile PM. Select the 12,000 mile PM task group, assigned to Bob. But this time I'll select the N2 cycle, which corresponds to every 12,000 miles. Click OK. I'll repeat this for the 60,000 mile PM. Select the 60,000 mile PM task group, assigned to Sam, our senior technician. But this time I'll select the N3 cycle, which corresponds to every 60,000 miles. Click OK. In doing this, we're basically moving the PM cycle to the task level. You can also add parts, files, or other notes as per the basic PM. I'll click on Paused when complete to activate the Nested PM. The Nested PM is now active and running. Not every PM is a Nested PM, so you can ignore the Nested tab if you're building a basic PM. And that's it. Simple.